Come again, 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 come again.
Hello and welcome to the Teacher Ref. Today our topic is, should technology be in the classroom? With us today we've got two experts, Miss Mallory McKinney for the pro side of technology should be in the classroom.
Heyo!
And welcome, Mallory. And Miss Brittany Waite, who feels that technology should not be in the classroom.
Yes, hello all.
Great. So how this show works is they're gonna view both their sides, and then we're gonna throw it to the panel and see how they feel. So up first, I'm gonna throw it to Mallory McKinney and see how she feels why technology should be in the classroom.
Well, I just think that technology is becoming a huge asset in the world in regards to anything. Everyone uses technology every day, whether you think you do or not. I just think that we need to eventually introduce more technology into the classroom. We always had calculators, overhead projectors. We need to advance it and use what is more applicable in the daily age.
I agree with you, but I'm just wondering if the classroom is the best place to do this. We have so much to do with all of our other curriculum goals and daily classroom work that I'm not sure how we can incorporate this into everyday classroom life.
Okay, so you're saying you can't possibly incorporate the two together? I think it would be perfect. You can do everything you need in the language arts curriculum, but you just use technology to enhance it. How does that not make sense?
I agree with that, but I'm just thinking most schools, including my own, we just don't have the means that we can all be sitting at a computer together, or that even oftentimes I can't use the computer in the classroom for such projects.
Okay, and that makes sense. It's a valid point. Not everyone is equipped with the technology we need, but most schools are going to have a computer lab, or you're going to have access to technological devices every now and then. So why not, book some time and everyone have a chance to use it, because eventually every kid will have their own computer and will be using it in life. So what better time to learn how to use it, learn how to go about using technology than early on?
Sure, yeah. We definitely could book some time, but I'm just wondering how much time do we need? Is 35 minutes a week really enough time? We have so many other things to cover. Again, like I said, how do we divide our time evenly?
Well, there we're using one form of technology. We've got a computer lab. So you've got that 35 minutes a week, but then there's so many other things that you could be using. You could have a smartboard in your class. Not everyone has one, but there's different forms of technology. So whether you have the computer lab once a week, you could have other forms of technology at different times.
Okay, kind of feeling upset right now. Really, the big issue with me is I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to use technology. I don't know how to bring it in with my class. I just feel like they would eat me alive and they see me right-clicking and left-clicking and backspacing and deleting. That's all I know.
Well, that actually makes a lot of sense. If a teacher isn't prepared to teach technology, why bother having technology in the classroom? I see that point, but I think it's the same as anything else. You don't just not introduce something because you're unprepared. We get people prepared, and then we bring in technology because it's important.
You're exactly right, but this has been an issue at my school for quite some time. We've all been working together to hopefully get some outside resources in to help us learn about the technology, but really we just don't have the equipment that's necessary and to stay up to date with everything.
Yeah, I see how that is a problem, but that's it's changing. Should we only teach kids with pencils and paper because we're afraid to introduce technology, or we don't have the money? There's a trade-off. If we stop photocopying sheets for everyone, start putting them on the smartboard, we're saving money in the photocopying budget. So there's going to be a trade-off in certain areas that is going to allow you to have money in your budget for it, and you need to decide what's important. And maybe it's not beneficial for every single classroom to have a smartboard, so put them in the classrooms that need them, and just try to make cutbacks in certain areas and make up for that and bring technology into the classroom that way.
You're exactly right, but again, this is a time issue. Now we're looking at timeline. How long do things take? Looking at the Canadian education system, things take years and years for anything to happen. Once we finally get to the point that we're heading towards, technology has jumped ahead of us another 10 years and we're swimming behind again.
Okay, so do we just say, okay, we're never going to be up to par, we're never going to have technology that's cutting edge, let's not do any technology? Everyone's going to use, what is that thing with the calculator where you pull the beads, got abacus? should we use all of those because everyone's not gonna have a graphing calculator that like calculates everything? No, we just need to work with what we can. But I don't think you can just slash all of technology because we're never going to be up to date or anything. That just doesn't make sense. Like you slowly bring it in and you find out what's important and you kind of like weigh what is necessary and you work with that. It's like inclusion. The inclusion system is that some people don't like it, but how can you improve on it if you don't start it in the first place? You need to have a foundation of technology, then you work with it from there. You don't not include it because you can't start off right away being perfect with it.
You're right, but again, time. And also, I'm wondering, what's the expectations? How far do we all need to be? Like, what is the bottom line that they learn, and what is the bottom line that we bring into the classroom? I think there's some parameters that need to be set up before we all don't jump headfirst into this project.
Alright, girls, I think we're going to cut in here and throw it to our panel now. So we're lucky enough again to have two people, experts in the field, teachers who've been teaching quite a while, that are going to weigh in on this situation. We've got Miss Chelsea Darash and Miss Katie Hogan. So we're going to go with Chelsea first here. What do you think about this? Do you side with Mallory McKinney or Miss Brittany Wade?
I see, like, listening back through the conversation, I see good points on both sides. I was kind of wavering back and forth. I do agree with Miss Waite when she says a teacher's time is already full and it'll be hard to incorporate technology when one teacher doesn't know much about technology in the first place. But I think I will side with Miss McKinney, sorry. The technology has to be involved in students' school lives, because it would be a learning process for both students and teachers, and I think that would get everybody more involved and more connected with each other if it's a whole classroom thing to be learning about technology and not just teacher teaching student. It can be student teaching teacher as well, and that can have both. That can have great qualities coming through that. And also I think kids would be more engaged if they have technology in the classroom because it's not a norm in the schools, and they'll go, oh, this is new and exciting, so they might enjoy school a little more, and that's my side.
Great. And Miss Katie Hogan, how do you feel on this debate?
I think Miss Darash made some very interesting points, and I too will side with Miss Mallory McKinney, but I do understand Miss Waite's time. Time is always an issue for teachers, but I think that's never going to stop being an issue, so I think the school system just has to work out how they're going to fit it into the curriculum and the best ways to do it, and find time for teachers by cutting out maybe some other stuff that could be useless. Okay, so I just think teachers in the school system need to start slow and slowly bring in what they can. Some schools might have more opportunities than other schools, but eventually we will all get to and learn what we need to learn.
Thank you, ladies. This has been a great discussion and debate. I think what we need to do is...
Oh, sorry to cut in, but I've got to get to a meeting. Like 5 minutes ago. So, see what I mean about time? Anyway, for all you lovely listeners out there, if you want to hear more about this topic and many others from the world of education, tune in next time to Teacher Ref.
Come again.